Hello friends, today I have this project, and if you have some paper bags, you'll be able to do this project. So what I was thinking of doing today is a bonsai tree, a paper bonsai tree. So what you're going to need is a couple of paper bags, and then I see that this one of them had a mark on it. I'm going to put that one inside the other one here. I'm going to put, it's a noisy one, guys. I'm going to put it inside the paper bag. Alright, I'm fiddling now, but I'm going to put it inside the paper bag. We're still doing China or Asia, and doing Asia, so it's going to be all sorts of different places. So this is how it looks. We've got two bags inside. I have my video at a bit of an angle, and you can kind of see some of my junk here, guys, but that's how it's going to be for this video, so then you can kind of check out my stuff. No, so you can see kind of what I'm doing instead of being right on top. So anyways, this is how it's going to start. So what we normally do is we crunch this up, and this is the base, and we twist this up for the tree trunk. So what I am going to do is I'm actually going to put a couple of slits. I would like to have about 4 or 5 branches, probably about 5 I'm thinking. So let's see here. We could cut a couple of slits, and we'll see how it works. So this is how I've got it. So now you can put some branches together, whatever. So this is how I have it. And I'm going to crunch it and twist. And just keep twisting. So now I have my base, I have my tree. I'm going to separate what I want for branches. To work on those. This is kind of a project I've worked on before with my children, but I have not made a video of it, but it was more of a creepy tree that we've done, the kids and I. And I thought, well, why don't we just see if we can do a bonsai tree? So I'm going to do these ones together. Twist it up a little bit higher, so then these ones are in a different. Can you see what I'm doing? Okay, I might have the video too high up right now. So I'm twisting this to make it come up higher. So we're going to try to make it look like 3, 4. I want one more branch somewhere here. So now I have 5 branches. So I can make one come really low. I'm tearing it a bit more and twisting. And come in like this. And keep twisting. It's a twisty one. So now we're coming together with our tree. So this is what I have right now. So now I have my glycerin and water. Now what glycerin does, I'm going to wet my tree, is it strengthens the fibers, and the water of course loosens them up so you can manipulate them a little bit more. And so I use that because the glycerin doesn't make it where it wants to break it. And I've got quite a bit of glycerin in here. I just play with the amount. I never measure. So, but it does help your fibers to be able to manipulate them, and it makes them strong. So that's really cool, and it's important because you're twisting and manipulating. And even if you're crunching flowers or whatever, and you're making flowers and you're crunching them up, it's good to mix the mixture of glycerin and water. It makes them stronger, and you can manipulate them a little bit better. So I wet them that way a little bit after I kind of get what I want down. So the reason I'm doing my tree a little bit like this, obviously a bonsai tree is not like a regular tree. I have done regular trees where they kind of branch out a little bit more, but we want to have branches coming out and then in different ways. And then like a bonsai, you'll have to look at images for bonsai. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have, say I have the lowest one coming out. And you're just going to manipulate and play with it. So here I'm going to have this one coming out here. So I want to twist, twist, twist. And twist my ends a bit more. And this is just one of those ones that you're just going to play with for a while. And then you can use your heat gun to dry it up a bit. Now I want to have one coming up here. And then you could take tissue paper pieces or whatever you want for your greenery after, but you kind of want to get the feel of the bonsai. The trunk of the bonsai is not straight up, so you're going to want to manipulate that. So I have that. That's why I did the video kind of funny today. So I have this trunk kind of going like this. And so you kind of play with what you got. You can separate the ends of your branches to other branches because you want to have full greenery on them. So you can just carefully tear them up a bit and twist. And you can feel how strong the paper is, but when you're playing with it. So then this isn't going to be a nice part for some greenery to happen on here. So what I want is I'm going to manipulate the trunk a little bit more. This could take a while, guys. How it's coming along, guys, and this is the start of it here. So I'm just going to keep twisting and manipulating to get it more to where I want to shape it. And this is the basics of our bonsai tree. So I was just twisting a little bit at the roots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit more of the stiffener. I don't know if it works, but I'm trying it out. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to try it out. I'm going to try to separate the roots a little bit better and make them a little bit more look like a roots in the bottom here. And twist them. So then they don't look like a bag at the bottom. So I'm giving them some root here happening. And then I'm going to dry that. And I think I'm going to put a coat of Mod Podge on them just to stiffen it up. I've never done that before, so I'm going to try that to stiffen it up a little bit more. And there's the roots. am now going to put the, sorry guys, I'm paying attention. I'm now going to put some Mod Podge on there and try to coat it nice. And this is the first time I'm putting Mod Podge on this type of project. Before I have not. But we'll see how it turns out. I also grabbed my laser scissors because it'll be easier to, then I don't have to pick it up every time. I'm going to start at the base and work my way up. Twist, add Mod Podge, twist my branches, dry them up as I go. So that's going to be my strategy on that. It will make it stiffer. And I think it'll be a nice, cute little project after. It's like paper macheing it, right? So it will work. So I'm just doing my larger parts here first. And then I'm going to work into my branches after I dry up the root and the base here of the trees. And then we'll make it that much more stronger, which will be really nice. So, and I'm just using Mod Podge. That's what I'm using on this. It'll dry clear. And it'll have a nice, it's a matte medium, but it still can have a little bit of a nice look to it, like a little bit slight of a sheen. So I like using matte Mod Podge. I don't like using glossy. I've tried both and I decided that glossy was just too glossy. So here it is. Now I'm going to dry this part. Oops. Now I'm going to dry this, dropping my brush. And we're going to work this part all nice and dry and stiff, and then I'm going to work my branches. So then it'll be a little bit more stiffer, not so wobbly, and then I can add my little greenage to my tree. Adding a little more Mod Podge to underneath just to make sure I'm getting it all good. I just dried the first bit of Mod Podge I have it, but I don't want the branches to sulk, I don't know, kind of hang too much. So I want to do it this way too, make sure they're nice and stiff. So then I get what I want in my look in my bonsai. So it's just a little playing around with it. And I like the way it dried. And then when you're done, you can add some paint to darken the wood of the bonsai tree if you like. Depending on what kind of look, they are a little bit darker. So I'm just doing this just to lift up the branches a bit. Now I'm going to dry it upside down. And then that's going to help give the branches a little bit coming along now. A little hint while you're drying and that kind of thing. If you put a little something under the branches and you're just leaving it sit, and so they don't sag too much, that helps and it works and holds it there when the glue is dry. So just to let you know, the glue is pretty much dry now. Excuse me. I get the sniffles every time I'm down here. I think it's because it's so cool. And then that is the beginnings of my bonsai tree. Again, I'm showing you another picture or another little clip. But next part will be painting it, just letting it dry really thoroughly here. And you can see some of the glue is still white, so it's not totally dry. But it's really stiff, guys. I don't even know how to show you guys how stiff it is. See how stiff it is? It's pretty good. So it's working. Those layers of glue is really helpful. The paper will not weigh it down and make it look like weeping willow or something like that. So it's going to be really cool. Okay, so I'm going to be painting it next. Okay, nice and dry, I'm going to paint my bonsai tree. I have a little bit of paint here on the glass. I have two glasses here. I have the cutting board and I have my lazy spoon. So I have a little paint on the glass and I'm just going to start painting my bonsai tree. I think I'm going to add a little black to it. So let's see if I can I'm going to darken it up. Just put a little bit on there already, and I want this a tad darker. So I'm going to look for my mixing tool. I'm going to mix it with this. And you guys, I'm going to move my camera down so you can see me mixing. And instead of mixing my brush and making a mess of my brush, I'm just going to mix with this. I'm going to make it a dark brown bonsai tree. So I'm just going to kind of mush it, scrape it, mush it. And that's how I'm going to mix it. If you mix it with one of these, I can't think of the name right now, palette knives. There we go. It doesn't ruin your brush, and it mixes it really well. It doesn't get streaky. So that's the good thing to do, is mix it with your palette brush. I'm gonna throw that in my water. And now I'm gonna start painting, guys. Sorry for moving the camera. I just wanted to show you. See, I like that brown a little bit better. I know the light is in front, but usually I'm kind of down on my projects. See if it'll work if I lift my camera up. There we go. See the whole thing maybe better. The camera's not, or the light is not behind me, so it might be a little dark for you guys to see. I'm not sure. It's a little different at this angle. But I wanted you guys to see the project not from the very top. It's hard to see sometimes when you're doing a project from the top, when it's a dimensional project. You could tell that this is really hard. I tap it. It's very stiff and hard. And I like that. It's perfect. So the Mod Podge really did its work, its job. And I'm loving my Lazy Susan. So I'm going to do 2 coats just because I accidentally put a lot of paint here, but I think it'll look nice. And I'm just going to go around and paint the whole thing. Oop, and hit my camera with my brush, because that's always the good thing to do. So these projects end up turning out to be really cute. I even glued the bottom so it's very stiff down here. And I wanted to have the weight of the leaves, even though they're not going to be really heavy, but you know, just even sitting there, gravity over time, I don't want it to be like slouching down. So I wanted it to be really stiff, and I got it stiff. Oh, I'm putting my hands right in front. I gotta pay attention to my screen as well. I'm not painting like this. I'll try to edit that out. I don't know if I will. I mean, it's pretty good for paper bag. It's not perfect, but it looks really cute, and it's going to be a cute little Asian project for the around the world inspiration, I think. I love bonsai trees. I never owned a real one. This will be my first one making one, so this is going to be really cool because I don't have to worry about killing it. I like my plants and that kind of thing, but I don't know if bonsais are as easy as regular plants. I don't know. According to the Karate Kid, they're not. So, and I'm going by the true fact of Karate Kid there. So, yeah. So it kind of worries me to even try to own one. So, I will just make one, and I can't kill it. There we go. So I'm just painting my branches. I hope you guys can see. I just looked at it. It was blurry. It's probably because my hand is in your face. And you see my lovely chunky fingers here. Not my beautiful work. But this is the painting basics. I am having light issues. Okay. I'm moving it closer, see if that helps. Got shadow big time. But I am putting a lighter brown now on some spots to create a highlight. I did brown and black to paint. Now just over some of the top pieces, I'm going with just the cocoa bean brown in my DecoArts Maltese satin finish. So it's a shiny because of that type of paint I'm using, which I like. So I don't know if you can see it, but I tried to put the light closer so you can catch it. I'm going to go over some spots, like I said, here to catch. And I still got a lot of pieces I missed, so I'm just going to go carefully over it all and try to get some of the highlights in there that I want. And I think it'll make it look good. And I got lots of tree here that I missed, so I'm just going to keep going over it like that and keep painting it. For the greenery part, I'm going to try these little flowers. I folded my tissue paper. You have to fold it quite a bit to get it where you can stamp out, punch out. You don't have to. You can just tear pieces of paper and have a little piece of paper like this. Use the back of a thin paintbrush or a tool like this, you know, a stylus, and just ring around like that, and you glue these little pieces on like that. All over on your tree, you could do that. You don't have to have flowers. I'm trying flowers, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to punch out a bunch and see if that works for me. So if you have a punch, you can give it a try. You can give different ways tries. I was, like I said, I was just going to do the tearing them. But I want to try this, see if it works. I have my dark green tissue paper here that I have. And I'm going to try to be careful. It's going to catch. Tissue paper is not the easiest thing to work with. And I got gold all over my styles. And I was thinking about putting these on. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. If I'm going to use end of a paintbrush, I might do that. Gluing them on together in little bunches for my bonsai. So I'm going to grab something kind of small. I was even thinking about giving these a little slice so they're not quite flower shape. So I might do that. This is quite high up, guys. I'm so sorry. And it looked like little clovers, and my fingers are full of paint. If you don't like that, I'm sorry, guys. I am full of paint. Always. Pretty much always. I have to really pay attention. I'm just stabbing my camera. I really have to pay attention to my fingers before I leave the house. Otherwise, I am full of paint always. And sometimes my husband has to remind me to like, oh, you got a little bit of paint. Because, you know, you wash your hands all the time, but you got to sometimes really scrub. So I might cut it up, see how that looks. I don't know. It looks like it's falling apart. But it might work for the leaves. So I kind of like that look. So I'm going to probably cut them up. And if wow, I got so much brown on my fingers. It's because I was grabbing my branches and painting between them. So I'm going to grab like piles of them. So that'll work for me. What will work for you, I'm not sure. But if you get like a little punch, circle punch or something, and just cut slits all the way around, that might work. But I'm just going to use this because that's what I have. And I think it'll work. to my advantage to make little bonsai leaves. They look like little evergreen leaves, mini evergreen leaves, so this is not quite the look, the rounded little 4-petal flower that I want, but once they're all bunched together, it's going to be cute anyway. So and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm cutting my leaves up. I'm going to try it, but I'm going to have a couple of pieces of leaves on it. What I want is it to wrap around the stick a bit. Dipping in that old craft that we did when we were kids, dipping in our things. Tissue papers. There we go. We have one. And we have a bazillion more to go. A little thing that I discovered is I cut my toothpick in half. So I'm going to use one end to glue my leaves on, the other end to pull them off. It makes it a little easier. My fingers are too big for this project. And I'm just going to grab it, a few only, stick it on. And it's the smaller the projects, it's like a little hard to move some of these fingers. But I got a little bit on. I'm dabbing it in glue. I'm finding my spot where I want my tree here, and I know it's looking a little blurry sometimes. I think it's because my hands are in the way, but okay, so I'm just gonna go right here for an example right here. So I got my tree spot there. Sometimes the second tissue will catch on with the glue through, but if it doesn't, just add a little more glue, and I use the other one to pull away. And that's what I'm doing. I don't know if you can see that because of the blurriness of what I'm doing. So I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to get a good view. I'm going to keep trying with this recording here. Another angle. It's really tough to film this project because of this. I got some paper. I'm trying to do only a couple at a time, so I'm pulling them apart, but trying to leave a couple. That way, there's one, here's two. They stick a little bit better, and I don't care how they are on top. Now I'm going to stick, oh, see, I can't see. I'm sorry, I stuck those two together. So there's two flowers, the ones that I cut. Putting it on here, just like that. And I know my fingers are really close to the ends, and this is what it looks like. Dipping it down. It's really hard to film this. Now I'm going to go onto my branch right here, push my paper is moving, push my toothpick, or it's a butterfly pick. It's a piece of dowel that has like one sharp end. I cut it and I push it on. I'm using this to push it off, and there is my. This is going to take a long time. If I film it all, you're going to see a lot of this, so I'm not going to film it all, guys, because it's going to be just more frustrating, I think, because you can't see around. But like I said, I'm just going to, here's two. Here's one branch. I'm going to leave it for now. I think it's almost done. I might go over it after. I'm just going to move on to my next branch, but just to let you know how it looks. Pretty cute on my bonsai tree there. So I'm gonna work on my other branches now. Okay, friends, this is my finished bonsai tree now with the leaves added. And I made it out of a paper bag, tissue, dark green tissue paper. I did use flower punch, but you guys don't need to do that. You can just tear little pieces or whatever. So this is the flower punch I used. Don't know. It's a Martha Stewart, but I used Mod Podge to get really stiff. I did use some spray for starch in it to make it, but I actually think that didn't really work that well. So I don't think it's needed, but I think the Mod Podge is what really, or watered down glue if you don't have Mod Podge, is really would work really great for the roots, for the rooted area, the trunk and the branches and stuff. So this is my, I'm moving it a little bit still. But it's really hard still, so just to let you know. But it does still have a little bit of drying time to do, so I can manipulate it a little bit last minute here if I'd like. So, and then just put a little container underneath to let it sit and dry. But that is it. That is my bonsai tree for this week's inspiration around the world, and we're in Asia, and I thought a bonsai would be really cool. So I'm not sure if I'm going to make the bottom or if I'm just going to have it placed on something like, you know. But this is it, and I hope you guys like this project. Very easy. The longest it took was to just do these. And in fact, if you just crunch them up and add them to, and put some glue on, I did that with this branch here right in the end, because just to fill it in, and it works. So you don't have to be as precise as I was with it. And that is about it, guys. So I hope you guys try out a bonsai tree with paper bags and post it up and tag me in your pictures, guys, so I could see. Talk to you guys later. Thanks. Don't forget to craft like a duck. Bye. I'm doing a quick overview again of the video. I added some gold metallic lusters from DecoArts here on the tree to give it a gold highlighted look. I also decided that I wanted to put some triple thick brilliant gloss glaze from DecoArts on the leaves, and so now they're nice and hard and protected from I don't know, the in-home elements, but I thought it was really cute, and I like the way it gives a kind of a glass look on the tissue paper. And that's how it's looking, just to show you guys. So there it is again. Don't forget to craft like a duck. I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you guys enjoyed this little bonsai tree and give it a go. Bye, guys. Don't forget to tag me in it if you do a picture so I can see how your guys has turned out. It's going to be so fun. Okay, talk to you later. Bye-bye.